Well, here we are again. The same old, even though I probably shouldn't say same old, but I am very conflicted right now. There are many thoughts that are processing through my mind. But before any of all that, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into TTP Sports. And Game 6 of the first round of the NBA playoffs just wrapped up. Sixers and Knicks. And the Sixers have been eliminated from the playoffs. They lose to the Knicks 118-115. Game came down to the wire. Very close game. Hard-fought battle. Basically a summarization of every single game in this series. It was close. Both teams battled. Both teams laid their heart out there on the court. There were a lot of great moments for the Sixers, a lot of great moments for the Knicks, and the Knicks were the team that managed to come out on top, and they made the more bigger plays when it came to it at the end of the game, yet the Sixers were just this close. They were just this close. I'm very conflicted because I'm proud of the way the team played, minus a certain few people. We'll get into them a little bit. I.e. Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris. The max contract guy that put up a big old goose egg. A whole 0 points. He put up 2 shots in this game. A whole 2 shots for a goose egg. Didn't score a single bucket. Not a single one. After arguably he had his best game of the series. Not even arguably. He did have his best game of the series in Game 5 when Joel Embiid was not good in the game Tyrese Maxey took over. Put up 19 points for you. We're like, oh my fucking god, we got a game from Tobias Harris. Hallelujah. He follows that up with his worst game of the series. And that is probably Tobias Harris's last time in a Sixers uniform, and thank the fucking Lord. Thank the fucking Lord he'll be gone. Because holy shit that Tobias Harris experience, it's finally over. It's finally over. And what a way for it to go out. You completely non-showing for your team on your home court when you have so many great moments in this game. So many. I thought Joel Embiid was great today. Puts up 39 points, gives you 13 plus rebounds. Dude was electric out there on the court, hitting some big threes to start that second half. That second quarter for the Sixers was huge. It was so fun. It was electric. And your bench. When was the fucking time? The only time in this series where your bench actually showed up and outplayed the Knicks. Insane. Your bench players, they scored 36 points combined to the Knicks. What? 5 points off of the bench for the Knicks and 36 for you. And you still lose that game. Buddy Hield actually did something. Buddy Hield was electric tonight. After the first time he comes out on the court for a little bit, he makes a little bit of a confusing pass. You're like, oh, God, here comes the Buddy Hield moments. Oh, God, this is going to be very ugly. And then all of a sudden it clicks. He hits 1 shot. And then he hits 2 shots. And then he hits 3 shots. And then he hits that fadeaway jumper in the corner near the end of the half. I'm like, what the hell? And then he doesn't play at all in the third quarter. He plays a little bit in the fourth quarter, hits some shots. So I feel like you should have played him a lot more, because I feel like he deserved the time because he was the hot hand there. But he didn't get played enough, in my opinion. But that's another discussion for another day. Buddy Hield was not the issue. He gave you 20 points off of the bench. 20 points. Batum, I thought was really good. 16 points off the bench. He was 5 of 7 shooting. Had a nice posterizer, hit some threes, got some rebounds for you. I thought Batum was good. Campaign definitely wasn't as electric. He put some threes up there on the board, only 2 of his 8 attempts from the field. Only put up 6 points. Definitely wasn't as electric, but those 2 threes definitely in those moments were huge for you. But your bench is not the reason why you lost this game. Even though there was a Paul Reed moment where Paul Reed just was goddamn awful in this series, and I believe it was to start the fourth quarter, and that was another non-Joel Embiid minute where you kind of did get outplayed there. But you found a way to get Joel Embiid rest in this game, and he benefited from it. He definitely benefited from it. But besides that second quarter, the Knicks came out on fire. The Knicks they were shooting above 50% from the field. They couldn't miss their shots. I believe they scored on their first 7 to 10 possessions. They were that hot from the field. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, everyone basically, Anunoby. They just couldn't miss. They just couldn't hit to start the game. Jesus Christ. It's unreal. Seriously, they come out on fire. But then you're thinking to yourself, okay, as the game goes along, they're not going to shoot that good from the field, even though they ended off scoring 46% on the night. Ridiculous. Absolutely. They just had hot hands tonight. They did. Sixers shot 43% from the field and 42 from three. So even the Sixers, you can say they were good shooting as well tonight. They just got off to a slower start, and then they eventually picked up the pace as the game went along. What really killed you tonight? I already brought up Tobias Harris. Maxey was not good for 3 quarters in this game. He was not good for 3 quarters. And we can talk about him not getting foul calls, because it is criminal that he gets no calls when he goes up to the basket and he's getting murdered. He's getting murdered. All the contact in the world, doesn't get a single call in his favor. He didn't get his first foul call, I believe, until 5 minutes left in the game. It's that bad. It was that bad in terms of him not getting the foul calls. But then at the end of the day, you got to find a way to work around it. And Maxey, for 3 quarters, did not work around it. He finished with 17 points on the night, but a lot of his points came in that 4th quarter. And yeah, he found a way to step up at the end of the 3rd quarter and in the 4th quarter, but it still wasn't enough in my opinion. He only put 1 3 up on the board. He was 6 of 18 from the field. He just wasn't, and I wasn't expecting him to put up 40 plus like he did in Game 5. That's not what I was expecting at all. But I need you to find a way to provide a spark, especially when Joel Embiid is not on the court. You were not able to find that spark with Tyrese Maxey there, and that was one of the issues. Yes, you can also say Kyle Lowry didn't play that much in this game. He only played 13 minutes. He put 0 points on the board for you. So really, at the end of the day, even though Lowry you're not expecting much from Kyle Lowry, but he is a starter for you, even though he only played 13 minutes. So it clearly, Nick Nurse recognized something there, and he didn't put Kyle Lowry out there on the court because he just wasn't providing you anything there. He was a -9 on the court. He really didn't provide you much. He only took up 2 shots and didn't hit any of those. Like I said, 0 points. But it's just Tobias Harris, 29 minutes, 0 points, -10 on the court, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He puts up 2 shots. None of those from 3. He misses both of the field goals that he takes. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke how pitiful Tobias is. It is an absolute joke. Joel Embiid's stat line, 40 minutes, 39 points, 12 of 25 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Perfect from the free throw line, 13 of 13 there. 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did have 6 turnovers, though. Turnovers were still a major concern here for the Sixers tonight. They had 11 turnovers in total. Offensive boards. There was many of those instances again where the offensive rebounds came back to kill you. The Knicks had 20 offensive rebounds to your 16. They out-rebounded you 48 to 46. Once again, in certain situations, the Knicks managed to get more boards than you. And that was one of the differences in the game as well. Looking at some of the Knicks scores. Brunson put up 41 points. He was fantastic tonight. I want to bring it up. But I don't know. Because I want to say it because in the BrodesMedia Discord, I was going back and forth with one of the Knicks fans that are in that chat. And they were going off on how much Joel Embiid is a foul merchant. Oh my God, Joel Embiid goes to the line so much. Joel Embiid gets all the fouls in the world. He goes to the line so much. Jalen Brunson went to the line way more times than Joel Embiid did tonight. Jalen Brunson, since Game 3, has gone to the line at least 12 times. Every game. He went to the line 16 times tonight. He went 12 of 16 from the free-throw line. Jalen Brunson criminally gets away with fouls that should be called against him. The foul where, he's literally grabbing Oubre. Oubre gets called for it. And then Brunson, multiple times tonight, multiple times. Gets an offensive foul called in his, well, not a foul called in his favor. A foul where he's purposely getting contact from a player that is behind him. He's purposely bumping into the guy that is behind him while he's taking the shot. And it's obvious because the NBA banned that move years ago. Years ago. Why isn't that getting called on Brunson? Why isn't that getting called on Brunson? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. There are multiple plays, even throughout this entire series. Brunson does that all, and I'm not trying to take away anything away from Jalen Brunson. He is a star in this league. He is an amazing player. But I'm trying to figure it out because so many people complain about Joel Embiid being a foul merchant and Joel Embiid getting away with everything. Jalen Brunson gets away with the same amount of shit that Joel Embiid does. He just does. He does. Some of those plays that Brunson makes, it's criminal that he does not get anything called on him. The play where he bumps in, where Batum's behind him. He did it to Oubre a couple of times. And seriously, there's a video right here. Someone retweeted it, I believe. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds of That's Ball, folks. Literally, it's right. This is from NBA Official. August 8th, 2021. An offensive foul should be called on this play as the offensive player uses his right shoulder and hip to dislodge the defender, and the offensive player lands outside of his normal floor position. And if I'm looking at it right there, he literally he jumps into the player that is behind him to draw the foul. The NBA banned this 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And somehow Brunson gets away with it constantly. I just want to bring that up. I want to bring that up. Because so many people complain about Joel Embiid being a foul merchant. Jalen Brunson gets away with it just as much. Just as much. I just want to point that out. I just want to point that out. Is it me being a salty Knicks fan? Salty Sixers fan? Yeah, probably. But there's also facts behind it. Because it was clear and evident that Brunson was replicating those same exact moves that are banned. So, NBA, fix your fucking league. Fix your fucking league. Because how are players getting away with this? How is Jalen Brunson getting away with that? And Tyrese Maxey can't buy a foul. All the shit that Tyrese Maxey gets hit by when he's driving to the basket. Can't buy a foul. Can't afford a foul. I just want to know. I just want to know. I need to know. I seriously need to know. Because I just... Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I feel like those situations pissed me off more than the actual game itself. Just because this was such a good game. It was a close game. It was a hard battle game. It was fun to watch, excuse me. And just gets ruined by ref ball. Just gets ruined by ref ball. Ref ball is not the reason why the Sixers lost. I am not saying that. It just ruins the game. It just does. It ruins the game. Not saying that the Sixers lost because of the refs. They lost because of certain players not stepping up or showing up the entire game. Tyrese Maxey didn't show up the entire game. He was quiet for 3 quarters. Tobias Harris was absolutely dreadful. He put a goose egg up on the board. Your only players that really showed up tonight were Joel Embiid, Buddy Hield, Batum, and what else? And what else? Did Oubre had 17 points on there? He was a plus 10 on the court. He was the only Sixers starter on the court that was a plus in the plus-minus department. Joel Embiid was an exact 0 on the plus-minus department. I'm also sorry if you hear a bunch of helicopters outside. You know, they're just hovering outside my house. My God. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is just... It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm just trying to see if there's anything out here. And so you get everything. Everything on Twitter that are even saying that, oh, I thought the NBA got rid of that. I thought the NBA moved that out of the league. That should be an offensive foul. It's obvious that it was an offensive foul. My God. My God. And I don't want to hear shit about fucking Embiid not showing up. This was one of his best games of the series. He still averaged above 35 points per game in this series. I understand he didn't play well in Game 5, and I'm going to point out, yes, he did, and I pointed it out during the recap of Game 5. Joel Embiid was terrible in Game 5. But there were also situations where Joel Embiid was not the problem in this series. And the dude's playing on one leg again. He's playing with one eye again. And he's playing with a condition that makes his face droopy. So, even adding more pain to this, more salt to the wound there for Joel Embiid. And he still put up some of his best performances in the playoffs here. Probably put up one of the best playoff performances in his career. Game 3. I don't want to hear jack shit about Embiid tonight. Even though you're going to hear that jack shit about Embiid tonight. Joel Embiid was not the reason why you lost this game. Joel Embiid was not the reason why you lost this game. But people are going to find a way that Joel Embiid was the reason why you lost this game. Joel Embiid just isn't clutch, blah, 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 blah. Put up 39 points. Put up 39 points. I'm looking at Maxey. I'm looking at the bias. I'm looking at Lowry. I'm trying to even think of anybody else. And maybe some more from Campaign. Maybe some more there. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. You just need someone else. If you had a little bit more from Maxey, you win this game. If you have a little bit more from Maxey, you win this game. That's all you needed. You just needed a couple more from Maxey. You win this game. But no, now you're going golfing. That's what makes it frustrating. Like, I'm proud of the way that they fought and battled, because that was this entire series. It was back and forth. There was no blowout in any single game. Every game was down to the wire, man. This was in terms of pure entertainment, if you're not a fan of any of these teams, this was a very entertaining series. Back and forth, down to the wire, contested basically towards every single game. Any game could have gone any way, really, except for Game 2, because the Sixers should have won Game 2 thanks to the fucking refs. But, the fact that I just don't know how to feel, because they played fucking hard, down to the wire again, but yet again they come up short. I don't know how to gauge that. I don't know how to gauge that. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot more Sixers fans on the social media verse that are trying to take the more positive spin off of this game for once. That where, yes, this loss, this elimination type of loss doesn't sting as previous ones. Game 2 was more heartbreaking. Game 2 was more heartbreaking of the way that you lost that game. Even you could say Game 4 was worse than this. But I'm just trying to gauge this, because yes, there's a lot of things that this team can do in the offseason. A lot of crap, a lot of things, because now you're off of Tobias Harris's contract. That's a lot of money put back on, on the books for you. So you were going to have a lot of cap space to work with this offseason. I know there's a lot of rumors surrounding Paul George and all of that stuff. People are trying to talk about LeBron James and all that crap. I'm putting that on the down low. I don't think LeBron's coming here. That's just me. Even though I would love to see a LeBron James here in Philadelphia, regardless of how old he is. But I don't know what you do in the offseason. Daryl Morey, for once, has a lot to work with now that he's not held back by the Tobias Harris contract. So we'll be able to see what he's able to construct on the starter-wise, and maybe able to actually fulfill the bench out. Because there are some players on this team that I think are still willing of staying. I think Campaign should be a great energy guy off the bench like he showed in this series. I would still Buddy Hield is definitely conflicting, because he had a fantastic fucking game tonight. He was terrible the rest of the series. He was DNP in the past 2 games. He was terrible in the first 3. So I don't know how to gauge that. Who else? I don't think Paul Reed's coming back. I don't think that's going to be possible. And there's a lot of other things. What happens with Oubre? There's a lot of question marks surrounding this team. Hopefully you don't get into the fact, because a lot of things can change, because, you know, somewhere, Joel Embiid can come up and ask for a trade request, even though I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Joel Embiid wants to stay in Philadelphia, and he wants to win a championship in Philadelphia. It's just to the fact that what moves do you make? What moves do you make? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And that's the one thing that's eating me right now. I don't know what you do. Because there were many things to take out of this series that you could say that as a positive. That Maxey stepped up and, well, he had the game 5. That was fantastic. Today, Maxey was not good. Joel Embiid was fantastic. Really, the only game Joel Embiid was not good in was game 5. Tobias is Tobias. That's just guaranteed at this point. Gladly he is off this team. I just don't know. And key difference in this series, though, it's the way that New York played. They're aggressive. Basically, like, you could describe him. I'm going to use this from Hunter Brody, because he described it, I believe, perfectly. That Tom Thibodeau, the way that he, you know, runs this Knicks team, he is the John Tortorella of the NBA. They play hard. They basically get in your face. They're a pain to play against. They play hard. They're going to grab those offensive boards. They're going to be just annoying, and they're going to give it 150% basically every single possession that they have. And they showed plenty of that throughout the series. And there were plenty of moments where the offensive board just killed the Sixers. And that was probably the main difference in this series. It still sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this still fucking sucks. I'm more frustrated than heartbroken. The heartbreak came after game 2. That was the real thing there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here on Twitter as I'm looking throughout this entire thing. That, just anything there. Thibodeau did the same thing to the refs. All NBA refs cried at the refs. All NBA coaches cried at the refs. Especially when one game feels like it's in one team's favor. Another coach is going to try, you know, call out the refs in an interview and all that stuff, you know. Try to work it out here. All NBA coaches cried at the refs. I know it looks like Nick Durst and all coaches do. All coaches do. That's the way the NBA works. Not the biggest fan of that, but it's the way the NBA works. Nick Nurse on the whistle for Tyrese Maxey in this game. I don't understand why every time Maxey goes in there, they just never give him a call, but it's kind of been that way. He just goes in there, gets sent to the door time and time again. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it either, Nick Nurse. See Brunson with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey showing some appreciation there. That's always nice to see. Someone asked him the question, have you thought about that this could be your last game as a Sixer? Tobias Harris says, I haven't really thought about that. Oh, really, Tobias? You never thought about that? That was probably on your mind the entire game. Let's look at this for Joel Embiid, this entire series. Game 1, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Game 2, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Game 3, 50 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Game 4, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Game 5, his worst game of the series, 19 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. He did step up in that overtime. He did provide some good defense in that overtime. That can't be understated, but his offense was terrible. And Game 6 tonight, 39 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, the turnovers were an issue. They definitely were. But Joel Embiid was not the reason why you lost. Nick Nurse asked if he had a good sense of how the Sixers need to approach the team building around Joel Embiid to get to where they want to go. He has one word: absolutely. Okay. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Like, seriously, if you look at this entire series as a whole, this wasn't your prototypical round one of an NBA playoffs. This was more of a round two matchup. Because realistically, the Sixers are not a 7 seed. They're not a true 7 seed. They're only a 7 seed because Joel Embiid missed a couple of months. That's the reason why they were 7. The same thing with Tyrese Maxey. He missed a little bit of time as well when Joel Embiid was out. So the Sixers were really not a watchable product during that time. And that's why they slipped so far down the standings. They found a way to stay in that 7th spot. Once, Tyrese came back, Joel came back, they got hot at that last stretch of the season, winning so many games in a row. This wasn't a true first-round matchup. This was more like a second-round matchup. Now the Knicks, I believe they play Indiana next. So, Knicks, they get their free ride to the conference finals. Because Indiana, they're nothing special. So, at this point, you're looking at a Boston, New York, NBA Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, God, saying that out loud, I want to gouge my eyes out. Holy shit. The two fan bases that I despise the most. New York and Boston. Yeah, I'm not watching a lick of that. No way in fucking hell. No way in fucking hell am I watching that type of conference final. No, I would not be able to watch that. I would not be able to watch that. Jesus. Campaign on whether he wants to return to Philadelphia next season. Absolutely. I love Philly. I think Philly loves me. I like the vibe so far. Everybody rocking with me here. I guess I kind of set a good tone, made a good impression. Hopefully I'll be back. I kind of like this locker room. I bring Campaign back. We gotta wait and see, though. That's another discussion for another day. Joy. Joy. It's pain. It's always pain with the Sixers. It just is. You play hard for 6 games, and you still come up short. I still don't know what to think about that. I still don't know what to think about that. Damn. We do have some people here in the live chat. Might as well get to them before we end off this stream. It's 12:30. Still despise the 9 o'clock start time. Still hate that. Thank you, NBA. T-Man, as an outside fan looking in, this was a great series between both teams. As the Sixers fan, this was another avoidable failure, and it's unforgivable. We got to do better. Break the purgatory. I completely agree there. Yep, rebounds killed. It is unfair to say the refs were... They were just bad. The refs were just bad on both sides. You could say there was some brutal calls that went in favor of the Sixers. You could say there was a lot of brutal calls that went in favor of the Knicks. Don't think the refs are the reason why you lost the series. They definitely played a factor, though. Wink, wink, game 2. Game 2. Cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge. Game 2. Game 2. Well, that is just a complete lie. Maxey is a good player. Maxey is a great player. He didn't play good tonight. Tobias Harris is the Knicks MVP. That's saying the least there. That's not saying enough there. What a waste of money on What did Jimmy Butler say? Tobias Harris over me? Tobias Harris over me? Well, Daniel, to be fair, Knicks fans hate Julius Randle. Knicks fans complain about Julius Randle on every given basis. Julius Randle isn't that special. He's a good player. He's not a superstar. Let's be real here. Don't remind me about the Flyers, please. I don't need another heartbreak here. Sixers lost because Saquon was at the game. Jesus Christ. With the balls y'all played against us this series, y'all better beat the Pacers and make it to the championship round. Otherwise, I'll be laughing my ass off. Oh, they're beating the Pacers. The Pacers are nothing special. Pacers are nothing special. You should have cut your hair. Your hair jinxed the Sixers. No, my hair didn't do anything. My hair is nice. My hair is gorgeous. My hair didn't do shit. I am not. No. We just ended the Tobias Harris max deal. I'm not doing another max deal with Tobias Harris, Daniel. I'm not. I know you're a New York fan. I know you're a New York fan. I remember, Daniel. I remember you're always in the Phillies Mets chats. So no, I'm not resigning Tobias Harris to a goddamn max deal again. I just got out of it. We just got out of it after this fucking game. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again, even though they're probably going to sign Paul George to a max deal. That's probably what they're going to do. Is Paul George a way better player than Tobias? Oh, hell yeah. Am I going to be amazed? Ecstatic by bringing in Paul George? Probably not. Is he better than Tobias Harris? 100%. Am I going to be happy giving him a lot of money? Probably not. Well, when Embiid had James Harden was the problem. James Harden disappeared in a lot of games. Game 6 down the stretch that he didn't give Joel Embiid the ball, Harden was being a ball hog. In Game 7, both of them no-showed. Yeah, James Harden had that good Game 1 against the Celtics, but still, at the end of it, Joel Embiid was the better player in my opinion. He had Game 1 and Game 3, actually. James Harden did, but still. I would say James Harden was more of the problem. I am nowhere near the ledge, Daniel. Don't worry about that. I am nowhere near the ledge. At this point, this is putting what is it? Another battle scar, I guess you can say. Philadelphia fan, you're a lot of battle scars. A lot. Don't care about fucking cheesesteaks. Don't care about fucking cheesesteaks, Daniel. I don't care about fucking cheesesteaks. They're good. I don't want to be known by cheesesteaks. Sorry. Don't want to be known by cheesesteaks. Jesus. Well, that's it's gonna do it for now, I think. We're getting late. Debating on if I gotta do work tonight or wait until tomorrow morning. Gotta wait on that. But for now, I thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Sixers eliminated. We will have some more discussions in the near future about this team, depending on what the offseason plans are and the offseason ideas. But for now, we got to sit on this, and we got to think. So, thanks, guys, for joining tonight. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thanks, everyone, for joining once again. Sixers are a pain. Sixers are misery. And that's